welcome back to our Surviving Java series, where today we're going to be taking on the multi-tree farm. I do believe that is correct, otherwise I've got my episodes completely wrong. Yeah, multi-tree farm. We also are not allowed to fight back against any mobs, so what we are going to do is throw a bow and my sword. I don't really need the fortune pick on me, and I definitely don't need 2 types of food, but I will eat the steaks before the golden apples. Obviously we can still hit stuff with our axe, not saying we're not allowed to, but I'm saying that yeah, it is possible, but we're not allowed to hit anything with any of our tools. So we need to be a little bit careful. We are still allowed to sleep away the night, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, he says, hopefully. And in dire circumstances, what we can do, because it won't count as a kill for us, we can actually use a lava bucket in order to get stuff away from us. Obviously it won't help if we've got phantoms or if we set ourselves on fire, and we're also not running a totem, so it's a little bit iffy. Now, the design for the tree farm, I tinkered around with a few ideas, and I'll explain the ideas I tinkered with after I've built the one that I've actually landed on. The issue with the one... no. And I can't even fight back. You suck, slime. The one that I've landed on is an old one from one of my schematics. Like, I was tinkering around with loads, and then I obviously have a look at what other people have done and what's possible, and the one that I designed, it was running into issues whenever I was growing acacia wood, because obviously you got blocks that sort of grow off to the side, and then you got to deal with double the amount of blocks trying to push it in the same direction, sort of thing. So I was getting pistons that was pushing pistons back and breaking redstone and doing all sorts of stuff that I wasn't actually wanting it to do. So I had a look in my old schematics folder, and I managed to find a tree farm, which I then tested out, made a few tweaks and changes, mainly the collection system, some of the redstone lines, how they were running. But now I'm very pro giving credit where credit is due when it comes to using other people's designs. Now, the situation being is that because this is just a random schematic that was in one of my folders from like 2-3 years ago, I can't actually remember where it was from. Now, I spent around about an hour looking to see if I could find the actual original designer of the design that I'm going to be using, but for the life of me, I could not find it. So, if you do recognise the, like, obviously you won't be able to tell directly from the build itself, because I have actually made some changes, but if you do recognise the core mechanic of it, of mainly the redstone timings is the main thing that makes this farm work a lot better than others. If you do recognise the core sort of mechanics of it, then do let me know. I really want to get this thing lined up so it's roughly the same distance from the edge of this, so it's like 2, because obviously I'm going to want to put a building over it at some point. So am I going like 2 off of this? So it would line up like here. Yeah, I think that's about right. So say 2 from here, and we want to bring up the ground by 1, I'd say. But yeah, if you do recognise it, then just ping me the YouTube link of the video, and I'll confirm whether or not it is the same design that I've actually utilised, because obviously it utilises a lot of the same mechanics that obviously a lot of other tree farms do utilise, like the double piston extending, pushing the main log that's grown. What you will notice as well, if you search multi-tree farms, a lot of them now, for the highest efficiency, they're going for mainly the designs where you actually plant and bone mill the sapling yourself. So it's less mechanical and more manual, which I didn't really want to go for. So I've gone for one that is highly mechanical and does actually work for, I think it's 4 different tree types. or 5. Is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 different tree types. So we've got a whole bunch of resources. Again, I do need to tidy up this area as well, because we've got just blocks laying everywhere and over there. So I may actually have to tidy up after I finish building this thing. So what I'm going to do is jump into a time lapse, build this entire thing, and I'll explain the workings of it after it's sort of built and running. What I can do actually while I'm here is have our bone meal farm producing bone meal, because I do actually need a lot of bone meal to run the actual tree farms themselves. And activate. Okay, thank God for that. I thought it was going to be broken then. So we can leave that running while I build this thing. So yeah, catch you back after the time lapse. Alright guys, so as you can probably tell, this is not a replay footage. That is because I had the moss farm running in the background, and where replay mod has to keep track of all the entities, there was so many entities that it was making my game constantly run out of memory whenever I was trying to sort of process the replay footage. So unfortunately we've completely corrupted that entire file save by having the moss farm running whilst I was building. But I was messing around in my creative world, and I do think that this is pretty cool that you can do. Make like ripple effects by having iron trapdoors above sculk sensors. And wait for the center, and then 2. Look at that. It's very satisfying to watch actually. But if you send like multiple, it does make it sort of freak out and not understand what it should be doing, because there's different ripple effects going each way, and they then activate dual one. So if we say throw one over there, one over there, one over there, and one over there. Yeah. So that one over there didn't even count. Let's do a few more. So if we can't break it. No. But nevertheless, I do apologise that there's no replay footage of the build. So let's just jump straight back into the section of me having built it, and I'll walk you through how it all works. Now, bear in mind, obviously, whilst recording that section, I had no idea the replay footage would have corrupted, so I don't know if I've referenced back to it or not. But we shall see how it works out, so yeah. Alright guys, so finally finished building it. Didn't take too long, just a few hours, making sure all the pistons and redstone was in correctly. Now, this is like the main core of the redstone area, which is the one that I had saved in my schematics that I've sort of just tweaked ever so slightly. Mainly there was an issue with the double piston extender, this one, that was triple firing instead of double firing as it was meant to. So it was just a couple of timings that I had to tweak down here at the bottom. Now the reason that this needs to fire twice is that when you're dealing with the acacia logs, what happens is that you'll have this first of all push out, double piston extend, and it will push the main log in the center forward by 1 block. And then the 2 sides will come in, crush the leaves, and any of the wood that sort of grows to either side will then get pushed in place of where the main stem is. So this whole area will be clear, and so when that does get pushed in, this will then fire again to push that back out, just to block the space, to stop the space from being blocked on growing another tree. And then the collection system is the wood sort of gets funneled over here to this double piston extender. Now there's a reason that, not a double piston extender, but it's 2 pistons pushing the logs, and the reason there's 2 pistons pushing the log is because this thing will fire twice, which means sometimes you will have 2 logs coming in place here, same for here, but obviously these get pushed off over into this sort of blast chamber where we've got a TNT duper which will run as soon as we turn the switch on. And then we've got a whole stockpile of bone meal chests that we can sort of stock this up in order to do sort of AFK-ish sessions after we make the place safe. Now, I've not tested it yet, so if I've messed up on the redstone anywhere, it could well blow up. So let's just see how it goes. First of all, switch it on, and then the TNT dupe will start kicking in. Let's make sure. There we go. Make sure it's not blowing anything up. We've got our auto droppers. Happy days, let's now see. Already something's gone wrong. What have I've missed some redstone down below, I guarantee you. Here. Here is meant to be some redstone. Let's go. Toggle the rendering on. Bring it down to 80. There. God damn it. I knew that I was going to be missing some redstone somewhere, and it just happens to be the main line that activates the entire thing. That was my screw up. So let's grab you. Actually, we don't want to take the whole stack. Need some temporary blocks, that's fine. You know what we could really use is our tools back on us. So it is here. Ish, I do believe. Yep. Okay, so that block should now pull back as soon as I break that tree. That's activating the main line. This is usually the sort of stuff that I'll do off camera, but it would be good for you to sort of see some of the teething processes I go in. Okay. Turn it back on. Okay, yeah, that seems to have done what it was meant to do. But now we are not getting this. Oh, yes we are. Why did that sort of hesitate? Something is definitely not working how it's meant to be. Okay. Aha. So this is, yeah, so I've currently reversed the system, which is, it should be an easy fix to be honest with you. It's basically just picking up these blocks and putting them back down. Can we like do this? Thank you. Do that. Do that. Oh no, it's getting to night time and I still can't fight mobs, so we definitely want to be sleeping the nights away. Let's give it another go. It could be that one of the timings are off. Okay, well that worked as intended. I need to now make sure that the piston extenders are working. So let's get me to go use interval, say 40 gain ticks. Okay, so then pistons are extending fine. These ones look like they're working fine as well. And we're getting a surplus of saplings, which is what we want. Make sure they're being spat out into the waterway and being picked up by the filter, which is just down there. Awesome. I'm starting to think, should I lower this obsidian block by 1. So it looks like sometimes blocks are getting stuck on that bottom block and then getting destroyed. I think we have somehow run out of bone meal. Or this thing is full, but for some reason it is no longer running. That was weird. Oh. Oh, okay. I think I know what I've done wrong here. I think where we had an item land on the wooden pressure plate, that it has kept the dispenser being powered. So oh no, because then why would it be doing that then? Yeah, I'm confused by that. Like, why are these ones not? Oh yeah, no. If more than one item falls on the hopper and it doesn't pick it up, it will activate it and then probably lock the hopper. Yeah. So we may have to swap out the wooden pressure plates for something else. Like maybe trapdoors. The tree farm itself seems to be working fine. But what we need to do is test out some of the other wood types. The mainly one? The main one is the acacia, which is because it grows differently. Use interval, say 40. Looks like it's doing that okay. But yeah, this is where you can see like the 2 lines of logs start coming into play, which is how comes you got the double pistons extender. See, it's hard to say double piston extender because obviously this is a double piston extender. Actually, this is a triple piston extender. This is a double piston extender. But that's not what I mean by here. It just means I've got 2 rows of pistons that are extended. Hope that makes sense. But it seems to be working fine. I just need to swap out the pressure plates for ones that can't lock the dispenser or the hoppers that are picking items up. But otherwise, yeah, it means that we just continuously farm the 5 different variations of wood. And they're all being collected. And we've got an endless supply of bone meal coming from this place. And even the acacia saplings are sort of keeping up to the demand as well. So, a quick run through of how it actually works. The redstone torch here activating this repeater. When a log grows, what happens is that there's a redstone line down here, which will then get activated by the quasi connectivity. It will then send a piston pulse in front of this observer. This observer then sends a clock, basically, not a clock, but a signal that then stretches around here to the 3 different sides. And each side is individually handled with its own timing. So you've got like the 4 and then the 2 plus the 3 delay on this side. And then you've got the 2 delay with the comparator extender signals things to go up this line here. And then this one sort of activates the top and bottom, and at the top we've got obviously these signals being sent at different times. And again, as you can see, because there's a sapling that's stuck on that pressure plate, it has stopped working again. So let me replace them quickly. I need to stop myself, otherwise I'm just going to be opening everything. Stop. Do that. Pick up the saplings. And then we need to go and make... What doesn't get locked? Is it iron pressure plates? Alright, so double checked, and the original schematic I've got uses stone pressure plates. Now this is something I did not know, is that the items falling on stone pressure plates does not seem to activate or power. Or activate, really, I think is the word. So, like, you can throw stuff on it and don't actually push the pressure plates down like it does with the wood ones. So I guess I've learned something new regarding redstone today, which is always good. Why are you spitting stuff at me? Okay, you've got all the pressure plates, that's fine. Okay, so that should be that sorted, which means we shouldn't have that issue again. So let's switch you on. And now that we've got all of them replaced, let's actually give this a go and make sure that we don't run into the same issue. Sorry about that shortcut as well. I keep on getting interrupted. And I don't know why I didn't just type use interval 40. Just make sure. So we can sort of leave it sort of running and harvesting. There's another thing as well, it's like when it's doing the acacia and we're getting a lot more logs come in simultaneously, I'm worried that it's not going to be able to keep up with picking them up if multiple trees grow very, very quickly. Like we did have a acacia log there after we'd done the little testing before. Looks like it's alright. So far anyway. Now we're not having any items building up on the pressure plates now, which is obviously a good thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it looks like the multi-tree farm is now fully operational. And it does mean that we now can harvest a lot of each of the different types of wood automatically. What I'll probably do is, in between this episode and next, is harvest just a whole bunch, so we've just got a lot of it stockpiled for any future projects. I also do need to design a shell that goes up and over this thing. I'm not too sure what to do about this. I may build up the obsidian wall on this corner, just so that way when we have a building on the other side of it, it's not going to be having chunks taken out of it each time. But it doesn't have to be obviously as long or as big as the one for our moss farm. But I'm quite happy with the way this has come out. Let's head back to base. I'm going to pick up all of the garbage here and head back to base, and we can actually spin the wheel to see what our next project's going to be. And home sweet home. Let's throw all of these into the sorter. And no, I still have not killed anything. They're just slime balls that I picked up from the portal. These are going to be staying in my pocket. So let's head on over here and spin this. Also, I did notice that mine and give 5 stacks of diamonds to Cloud. So Cloud's been over here tinkering with my board. Okay, we're on 2, so somewhere along this line here. That was a very quick spin. I would be very surprised if he's managed to mess with the redstone for this in order to get it to land on that one as well. It would have been really impressive. But I'll leave that there because I'm fairly sure we can find a creative way of mining 5 stacks of that. 2 and 1. A flower farm. You know what? That's not terrible. We actually need that because our flower farm area actually has no flower farms whatsoever. So it's definitely something that is needed and necessary in order to keep up with our diets. Multi-tree farm is now done. And flower farm is on the board without any negative modifiers. It does also mean we can swap out this freaking armor that we've got on. So let's go like so, like so, like so, We don't want to be wearing that because we've already worn the green one. Where's our chest piece? You. Like so. Then we can swap out the wings. Go away alarm. What ones can we wear for the flower farm? Probably purple. Yeah, this one. I think would go well with it. We can also change our elytra to match it as well, which means I have to go looking for an elytra. I don't know why I'm not just throwing this stuff on. No, not what I wanted to do. You go there. Thank you. Yeah, and then we can figure out whatever else we're wearing. I don't remember having made an outfit, like a skin, for the flower farm area. So I may tinker with that as well in between episodes, just because out of boredom, really. But yeah, I also still need to work on this, and it's so many blocks to place, so I just really can't be bothered. I may go over there and start tinkering with it later on this evening, or I may see if Cloud wants to come along and help me just place an obscene amount of blocks. The main thing that's putting me off is because the sheer amount of slimes that constantly spawn there is just so annoying to be able to get anything done over there at the moment. So yeah, I may do it, I may not. I'll see how I feel and see how time goes. But yeah, nevertheless, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I will catch you all in the next one. Oh, also, I didn't show you the cloak thing that I was wearing today, which is like wood with moss on, which is how comes my wings sort of adapt to that, which matched the leather outfit I was wearing. But nevertheless, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.